Howie, folks. Hello. We are live, and we already got some people saying hello. What is up, Mike? Actually jumped on Mike's stream this weekend, which was pretty cool. He was testing out live streaming, so of course I am going to join in. Of course, Mr. Kunkel's in the house. What's going on? We gotta unite, Mr. Kunkel, as live streamers, man. I know you were frustrated this weekend, and that's okay, man. It's the love-hate relationship with our LinkedIn here, don't we? We got to deal with it, buddy. We got to deal with it. All right, and we got watching over on YouTube, Miss Yolanda Chin. How are you doing? Tuning in on YouTube. If you're checking us out on YouTube, please do us a favor. Hit the like and subscribe button. We are always trying to build our viewership over there. I am fine-tuning my YouTube page. So now you can actually go to my YouTube page and scroll through all my videos now by season. So season 4 is on top. I got season 3, season 2, season 1. I also got miscellaneous videos and videos where I've been on other people's shows. So if you want to go watch and check that out, please go check out the Gabe Little Experience on YouTube and hit the notification bell to let you know whenever we are live, whenever we schedule new lives, and whenever we drop new video content on the channel. So thank you. And of course, Mr. Bob Feathers in the house, and it was a sausage fest, but that's okay. It was late night, man. What are we gonna do? And let's get unfiltered, exactly. And you can also check us out on our favorite. That's right, Mr. Schulman. Go subscribe now. You can check us out on our favorite platform, folks, over on LinkedIn. So if you're checking us out on LinkedIn and you're not subscribed, or excuse me, you're not ringing my bell, then you're not getting all my content. You're missing out on a lot of good stuff. So go ring the bell. Follow me on LinkedIn. We are always trying to get more people to just join in over there, and I'm trying to build my following count on LinkedIn. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm pushing for my own self. So yeah, go ahead. That's what I'll do. So if you're not following me, please do, and suggest somebody to follow me as well. All right, guys, we got a really great guest lined up for you. But before we do, again, we're going to hit you up like a good salesman always do. Go check out our swag store. We do got swag if you want to go check us out on the our swag store. The link is in the comments if you want to go check out and buy hats. As you can see, I'm wearing my own. I got shirts on the way. We got hats, mugs, got a lot of other things about to come down the pipe, man. But check out our swag store, man. We want you to get your own M Pro Media swag. And of course, we're going to give a little love to our design team that designs my logos and helps me with my merch over there. So love to the Inky Black team. Thank you guys for what you do, helping me out. Appreciate it. And yes, we're going to get swaggy, baby. Swaggy P is in the house. We want to get swag. So if you want to go check out swag, that's where you can go do it at. All right, folks. We are live, and my follower count from Friday has now gone up to 7,600. Hold on. Geez. I memorized the number, then I forgot it. Okay, so my follower count is now at 7,681. So that is over the weekend. I essentially gained 32 followers. Not bad for a weekend. So 32 followers over the weekend, and I am now at 7,681 followers. So if you want to go follow me or recommend me to somebody, absolutely do. I'm trying to put more content, more written content on the platform. So I don't know if it's growing or not, but that's okay. That's how we're going to do it. And of course, we do have some really cool. Let me hide that real quick. There we go. Gotta hide that one right there. So let's scroll and update it here in a little bit. All right, there it is. If you want to ring my bell, 7,681 followers. Always trying to grow the viewership because I want to, it's jumped quite a bit, man. So I'm pretty proud of that. See how much more we can get over there, because I want to extend out more to people who want to actually find good live streaming content on this platform. And I guess the broader base, the more views, the better the reach will be. And we'll kind of grow and expand this community, man. And it's not just going to be all empty, hollow numbers. A lot of it will be a lot of really great people who want to connect and join in. So There you go, man. Appreciate everybody who's kind of followed me there, and that's so again, I love it. Um, where the hell? The video we did have a video. We already played it. Zach. Got to get Zach on the show too. He's another good creator. All right. Without any further ado, guys, this gentleman that I'm about to introduce, I met him over almost 2 years ago. I think it was during the height of the pandemic, and much like myself, this gentleman and a few of his friends started a show, and they started doing their own live stream over on Facebook. And the thing is, when I was a little bit more active on Facebook, I kind of ran into them, and they ran into me more, or should I say, and we both just kind of started to communicate back and forth, and then I finally had the opportunity to jump on their show. So I decided that, you know what, it's time to start bringing some of those other creators over here to this platform. So guys, please help me welcome to the show. We're going to try to help this guy. If I jump 32 followers over one weekend, I need 21 people to go follow this guy's show page. So help me welcome to the show, Mr. Jaime J. Pineapples Benya. Here we go. There he is. What's going on, my friend?
What's happening, Gabe? Thanks for having me on tonight.
I'm proud to have you on the show. Because I am working hard to try to get other live stream creators to come onto this platform. And you've been streaming for a while, just on another platform. And
Yep.
I want to get other creators who are from other platforms. I've been doing this with some YouTube creators to try to get them over here and get a bigger following for them. And then I'm finding other creators who I've been connected with for a while and want to kind of transition them over to LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is starving for creators, and I'm trying to get people who are already used to doing the live streaming thing and understand the tech, and I already know how to put shows together and interviews. So I wanted to bring you
Your
on.
show is pretty awesome, man. I love watching it and doing it. So like the other night when you said the sausage fest, I was in the comments. I wanted to come on, and I was like, oh, but I'm driving and doing stuff, so I was having to listen. And I was like, this is fun. This was a fun night. And last week, was it last week or the week before? But you had some amazing guests on too that week, and I was just like, oh
Yeah.
man, it was powerful. So props to you, man. I'm glad you invited me on. I'm glad I could be here. And everything you said, it's exactly what I'm trying to go for.
That's
so,
right, man.
Yes.
And we want to get you on there. So, like Miss Lisa Marie Hughes, if you check in the comments, there is a link to go follow the. Excuse me, let me move the comment up here just a little bit so I can see the ticker. But you can go to check out he's about to launch season 5 of the Social Undistancing show on Wednesday. Yep. Tell us a little bit more about the show that you guys started, first of all. And again, congratulations on doing season 5. I know how long it is sometimes to put these shows together. So tell us a little bit about the show and how you guys came together.
You bet. So, all right. What happened was at December, before the pandemic hit, my buddy, Joe Baker, he comes to me and says, man, we really should do a podcast together. It'd be awesome or something. And I'm like, oh my gosh, for years he's been saying that. So in the middle of the kitchen, while he's telling me on my earphones, I'm like, I'm so sick of him talking about this. So I get up on my phone and I start looking how to start a podcast. I go through all the steps and I'm like, let's do it right now. And he was like, right now? I said, yes, I'm going downstairs. Got on the computer, got everything set up, created the accounts, and just was like, let's just try it out. Let's go. And he's like, what are we going to talk about? I was like, we'll just do it. We'll wing it. We'll figure it out. And so we did it. It was fun. We both enjoyed it. We're like, let's try it again tomorrow night and see what happens. We're like, okay. We went. We actually planned it out. We were prepared for it. Got it. Did it. And then afterwards, I was sitting there and I was looking. And he was like, man, that felt awesome. That was great. And I was like, I forgot to hit the record button. And he was like, what? I was like, I forgot to hit the record button. So for like 45 minutes, we're rambling on about Cats and how horrible of a movie that was.
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh my gosh. So anyway, we realized podcasting was not the way to go for us. So then I was like, let's take a break and figure something out. Started researching around. We started doing Facebook Live videos on our own channel, just ourselves, by ourselves, And I was like, I think we could do that actually instead. So we looked for some software, got everything going, get the email, get everything, and we did our first official show of the social and distancing show because it happened right at the start of the
Damn it.
pandemic. And so we did it, and we're like, that was freaking awesome. And we had some viewers, and then I was like, man, but we're still missing something. I was like, let's ask a guest on tomorrow night, and let's see how it goes. Well, we asked a guest on. Her name was Sandy, and Sandy was such a phenomenal guest. I told Joe, we were like, let's have her be a permanent part of the team.
Ooh.
And so we asked her. She said yes. And so from then on, the social and distancing show was Jay Pineapples, Joe Baker, and Sandy Abbey. So what the social and distancing show does is answers what happens when a group of friends are told that they can't hang out anymore and they can't be around others, but the three of them are social butterflies.
Yeah.
And that was like, oh my gosh. So the social and distancing show came up because we still wanted to be social and still wanted to hang out with people and meet new people. And so for 5 nights a week at the beginning of the pandemic, every night we had a guest come on and we interviewed them and got to meet them and just know what their niche in life was or why the spotlight needed to be shined on them. And that's what we did. And so here we are 3 years later into season 5. And obviously we don't do seasons like a traditional show. Yeah. So that's why we can do season 5. And it's only been 3 years, over 200 episodes. And
well, at one point you guys were doing it every day, right?
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, this is why I give kudos to what you guys were doing. First of all, you were doing an everyday show with 3 people. Now, I do it by myself and I bring on other guests. So to do, as a group, man, that's quite a bit to kind of invest. And I know it was during the pandemic, but people still had lives and stuff that were still going on in households and that sort of thing. So, to bring that all together and you guys kind of just show up all the time and be on camera, that was, that's for me is where I say, anybody that's ever done a few of these, even if they only do it for one season or a season, however long they do it, but they do an everyday show for, I don't know, say 30, 40, 50 shows. That's a lot, man. That's a lot of content. That's a lot of planning. That's a lot of putting everything together.
Oh my gosh.
And even bringing
Look at the birthday episodes. The birthday episodes were insane. And I'll tell you, I didn't plan it at the beginning of the show. When we started, we didn't really know what was going to happen or how it was going to work or what we were going to, we knew what we wanted to do and what we could hope to achieve. We didn't realize from our personal view, the success that we would have with it, because it was fun and it has fun and meeting people. So I remember specifically the first birthday episode was so challenging to do because I was like, what can I do? Because if you didn't know, my co-hosts are down in Texas, my hometown of Lubbock, Texas. I'm up here in the middle of Illinois. And so to plan a surprise birthday party for my friends who are down there virtually on a show was a challenge. But we came through. I was able to utilize some help. At the time, we were still using StreamYard. You could only have like X amount of people on the screen.
Yeah.
But we had a queue of unlimited people and they showed up. And so the idea was like we had a full 9 squares on the screen. I was letting anyone in. They got to share a little message to Joe for his birthday, and then they would go off and I'd bring the next person in. And so it was just a rotating thing. And for the whole night, it was 9 people on the screen sharing, singing him happy birthday. He had gifts for him that were showing up on the show from his family who were handing it to him. And he was just like, what is going on? And it was a phenomenal event. It was one of the most, and I was in tears because of how happy Joe was and how excited and surprised. And we did the same for Sandy, and it was just it was a fantastic event. But those are hard to do. So,
man, yeah, 10 is the limit on StreamYard. So that was kind of hard to put those together. And trust me, I've been live streaming long enough when you could only have 6 on StreamYard, and
yes,
that was very difficult as well. And then to see it kind of develop and go a little bit further, that was, to me, that was a win. When you can able to bring in that many people, and it's not as much as a Zoom, but
right.
People still could come in and feel inclusive, and that was, and even to coordinate 10 people to come on a stream, trust me, it's not easy, folks. And when you're handling the tech behind it and trying to keep everything moving and still act as a host, that is where
I
there you
saw
go,
his
Mike.
comment.
There you go. Keep your friends at 9 and you're good, buddy.
Yeah.
You don't even got to worry about pushing that
You're right,
threshold.
Gabe. It was hard, man. Like, prepping people for normal, prepping one person for a normal
Yeah.
guest appearance on the stream is challenging, much less. I don't even remember how many it was. It was like 20 some odd people. And to make sure they all knew, don't jump off, stay in there, and we're going to bring you in, and someone else is getting kicked out. And, it was just like, oh, and then to keep it secret too was just like,
Oh yeah, that had to been
oh.
another one that was kind of a difficult thing to bite the tongue and
Mhm.
not not blow the surprise. So, but
And
that's awesome,
a
man.
long lost friend too. We had to find long lost friends for him, and he was just like, "Oh my gosh, I haven't talked to this guy in forever." And so he was all, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's amazing though, man. I love that. And then, that
Hmm.
you guys have done this going now on season
Three.
5, and for people, like seasons are different for each folks because
Hmm.
like my seasons are insane. Like I've done first season I did was 150 episodes altogether. When I was
Yikes.
calculating all of mine, then my second was like 125, third was like 55, and then I plan to do 100 episodes here. So my seasons are a little bit longer and they run a little bit more. But again, there's no right or wrong number as far as like what your seasons are. Your seasons could be 10.
You're the boss. You
Yeah.
get to say what it is, right? That's what
Yes.
I tell. Like, if you're like, when you're an adult, guys, like, it's kind of like when you driving in your car. Do you want to roll down the window or turn the air on? I tell people, you're a dang adult. Guess what? You can do both if you want to.
That's right.
It's your car. It's your drive. You roll the window down and you turn the AC up if you want. They don't give a dang.
Th-
So
Now
if you
you
want to take a season, if one season is 5 episodes or 500, it's you. You're the boss.
It's exactly, and that's again why each creator who goes out and does them. I mean, I've had people ask me like, "What is a good number for a number of episodes?" And I said, "Well, how many do you feel like doing?" I mean, um, I tell them don't judge yourself against what somebody else is doing because when they ask me like, "How long do you do yours?" I'm like, "I do like 100 episodes, so you're not good. That's not going to be like reasonable."
The norm
Somebody,
or the
yeah, I'm the exception, not the rule. So I'm just like whatever feels comfortable to you. So if it's 25 episodes, if it's 10, 15, whatever that's, you decide that.
right. And the frequency too, right? So like you said earlier, like in our first season, we were going live 5 nights a week with guests. And then as the seasons continued, we went from 5 to 3 to 2. And then actually this year or this season, we'll be doing 1 episode a week.
Yeah,
And that's fine. It's
that's fine.
fine. Our number one goal for us was always, as long as the three of us were having fun. As long as we're having fun, that's what we're working towards. We're not working towards. I say we're not working towards followers, and then on here asking for followers so we can get on a new platform, right? But honestly, once we reach that, we're in the platform. We're great. If we continue growing, wonderful. We just want to have fun. We want to introduce people to the world, and we want people, if they're interested, to hear what they have to say.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. And hey, and there's and the thing is this, like you said, as long as you keep having fun with it and it doesn't lose its zeal, and you still feel like you want to create, then that works out fine. I mean, like my third season, I dropped a number because I was doing only a Monday and Friday show at that point. So I wasn't doing every day
Mm.
because it fitted what my schedule was like at that time and what I really needed. So my third season was different because it wasn't like me going every day. It was just me doing it twice a
Hmm.
week, and that's what I needed for me. And that's again why I was like, you decide those things, and you can switch those things up. And formats change. I've changed the name of my show like 3 times. Like you guys have stayed with your
Really?
consistent
What did you
stuff.
start off with? Yeah.
Okay, so season 1 was what I called the made from scratch broadcast because that was made from scratch and it was just how I started things.
Okay.
Season 2, I went with the same name show, but I shortened it down because it was a lot to say, so I just changed it down to an acronym. So it was MFSB Live, which was just the made from scratch broadcast live, so I didn't have to say it every time. I would just shorten it down and condensed it.
Yeah.
Um, so then the third season, I kind of switched the format from uh, mostly doing interviews to doing a mix of interviews and then live stream education. So, um, and I was doing that, like I said, on primarily on Fridays when I started doing them. So I called it TGIF Live, you know.
Mm.
And then this year, this season is Unfiltered Live, which is a little bit different, but there's a theme. They're all live, which is, of course, what I do.
Right.
And but each season has been kind of its own entity. So it's almost like for me getting to create a different show, a different format, and each of them have kind of also seen me develop and elevate how I do my live streams. Um, and that's why, like I tell everybody, you don't have to stick to one individual niche. You can do different things. You can create multiple streams. You can do whatever you essentially want to do with live streaming. You don't have to just say, I got to do it like this and be done with it. I'm just saying what you guys have done and doing it for going now on 3 years is pretty impressive. And you guys are still together and you still, cutting up and
Well,
doing.
it helps because so Joe and Sandy are related by marriage. They're not married to each other, but
Yeah.
but then they've also been friends of mine for 20 plus years now, and so there is some history, a lot that plays on the show. We know each other's characteristics, mannerisms, so a lot of time when stuff goes, we just play well off of each other, and so there's just that, and we've gotten a lot of comments on that, right? And so, and that's a challenge when you find co-hosts, right? Is how well can you mesh? How well can you blend together? How well can you hurt each other also and cross that line without, the booty hurt lasting a long time? And
Right.
so that's the thing for us too, is usually whenever any one of us are booty hurt, we usually can just call each other up after the show and just be like, you said and did this, and that was just, yeah, I didn't like that. And like, oh man, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. And then we get over it. We roll with it. We know the heart isn't to hurt each other. It's just, it happens though. So I think that's important too, is stumbling with each other. But there have been times where it's like, we allow each other to have room for life too, right? So
Hmm.
it's not about just having fun and doing the show and meeting new people, but there are times when, hey, someone needs to take a vacation, someone's going to here, or someone got sick or anything else like that. And so we've been able to employ a cool feature on the show where we're like, you know what? Let's ask our guests to co-host in the future when one of us are sick or vacation or anything else like that.
Hmm.
And so what happens is when anyone that wants to take a break for whatever reasons, we just say, hey, you want to co-host with us, be a guest co-host with us on this day and night? And they're like, yeah. And then it just works out great.
Yeah.
And so we've done that. And because of that, I've spun off several other shows. Some of them aren't around anymore, that employed guests who just had a passion for something and wanted to do their own thing. And so it was like, okay, well, let me help you get started now.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it, man. You get the bug a little bit. That's what I tell people. You get the bug where it's you want to continue to do this because again, for those who haven't got on camera, for those who don't do this on the regular, when they get their first like taste of it, and um, it's invigorating. It gives them energy, whatever that is. It's a thrill, man. It's a kind of almost like a dopamine hit for those who don't know. Um, and you're like, man, I loved what was happening. I love what transpired. I want to do it again. And then that's where the ideas start flowing. You're like, hey, I want to do my own show, or I want to do a show with you guys, or whatever. It's collaborate. Those things happen a lot, man. I'm very much like you, where I've done these for other people, other shows. I've helped others start their own like journey with live streaming. So
That's great, man.
it
That's
is.
so awesome.
It's a really great way to kind of just again allow people to use their own voice and creativity to go out there and put it out on camera, and you don't know where that's going to take you. And that's like where I wanted to go with the next sort of thing. Like, how has this, like you guys doing this, number one, um, changed the way that you guys have with your like relationship now, and then like how has it helped you, or how do you feel like it's changed you as well along these last 3 years from doing nothing like that and then jumping on camera and then doing this as a first as a hobby and then doing it for other people and almost doing it as a production.
Yep. So I can say I love to talk already. So that was never an issue for me, right? um, But prior to starting our own show, I've been a public speaker. I've been in Toastmasters and had done lots of just random speaking engagement, nothing like a professional whatever, but getting out there and speaking to crowds from, as few as six to as many as 200, and just speaking about all kinds of things and been in contests and stuff. And so talking was never an issue. But I will say that because of doing my show, there were two main things that happened, the two really bright, shining moments I can tell you. The first was realizing that there are a multitude of people out there that have a story to tell and deserve to have a spotlight shone on them.
Yep.
And you don't realize the stories that exist until you start talking to people. And that was the thing, is I've always talked to people. I've always just been curious about people. My wife and I are just natural butterflies that go out and just talk to people and get their stories. But to be like, man, you should come on my show and tell everyone this story.
Yeah.
I love their reactions when they do that. And they're like, man, this was one of the greatest things I've ever done. It was really exciting. Thank you for noticing me and all that. And it's like, thank you for having a story. The second thing that this did for me, so again, the first one being meeting new people and really seeing their stories and giving them a platform for others to hear that story. The second thing it did for me was so last year, I completed a 20-year dream of mine and did my first and only ever TED Talk. And it was
Oh,
out of this world amazing.
yeah. A round of applause for that.
Thank you. I was so nervous. I went on live stream to fill out my application and ask my audience for help, and I'm like, this is what I'm supposed to do. And even when I had to tape my audition, I went live on air and was like, okay guys, here it is. And so it was so funny being live on the show and then having my phone on the side and being like, blah 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 blah, and this is why, and then and thank you, and then stop recording. And then I was like, did y'all like that one? Did that meet the marks I was going for? And they'd be like, yes or no, or and I went back and forth a few times. And so when it was all done, and I remember I've shared my tears with my audience, tears of happiness and joy, because I remember I was in tears because I was like, oh my gosh, guys, I just hit submit on a 20-year dream of mine. I can't believe this is happening. I don't even know if I'm going to get picked, but I'm so happy to do this. Then I got picked and I went online and it was all like, holy crap, I'm going to be giving a TED Talk, and then went to go give it. And I remember afterwards going on, I was like, I just did it. And I'm crying and laughing and getting mad. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. It just, all the emotions were up in there. And it was just like, I don't know why I got mad. I wasn't mad at anything, but just feeling that emotion and then laughing hysterically like I was crazy and then crying. And I was like, I don't understand all this, but I'm so freaking happy right now. So it was ecstatic. And then to be able to go out there and see my name when I go to TED Talks, enter in Jaime Pina, and it pops up, and I'm just like, what? So I did my TED Talk on how to start. The title was, I didn't mean to start a web show, but, and so I
Yeah.
talked about how I started a web show and how at the end of it, my challenge to everyone was like, everyone should start a web show.
Yeah.
And so
Hey,
the
and
show really helped out with that kind of stuff.
yeah, I mean, and that's the look, and this is the thing, is these shows and these sort of the ability to create these forums, right? It gives you a voice where you would never imagine doing those things and going, how do I even approach that? Like, where do I even start with that if that is something you do? And then all of a sudden you have, again, your springboard here simply by doing what you're already doing now as a way to kind of shine a light on yourself. And, these are the things that kind of happen, folks. You, by doing these things, I mean,
Yep.
I've been approached and I've done, I've been asked to do one already, two, and possibly three different speaking engagements. Simply to
Nice.
come talk about like live streaming and doing this on the LinkedIn platform, because I've been, apart from Russ Johns, I don't know anybody else who's done as many live streams as we have. He did 500 episodes in a row, Monday through Friday. Where he, again, he 500 consecutive episodes Monday through Friday. He didn't miss a beat.
Holy cow. I think I've
Uh,
heard of this person. I don't remember their name, but I think I
so,
heard about this person.
his name is Russ, and me and Russ,
Okay.
Russ is my mentor. I call him because when I first started getting in here on the LinkedIn platform, and wanted to even be curious about live streaming, he was the one that kind of helped walk me through doing this. And because of it, we formed a really good bond. We became really good friends, and so much so that we're like working together and to do, uh, a few other things. So, um, you know, having the ability to do that and having these opportunities and these doors that open up simply by doing this already, I mean, it's a great way to kind of just use your voice and what you're already doing passionately to kind of stir you into other opportunities and other avenues that again could have possibly change your life or change the way that you again see your own world or your perspective on things. So that's why I'm like you. I tell people that's why I say get your voice out there, do these things. Um, and like
Yes. Yes.
my guest tomorrow,
Preach it, Gabe. Preach it.
she's another one. She does video visibility. She was sharing her story. She's done some really great things. So she's another, again, awesome creator who I love seeing what she does on this platform. This gentleman here who just in the comments right here, he's another
Hmm.
one. He, again, he just got done doing a live stream. I was actually watching his before I came over here and
Oh,
doing
just
my
now?
own. Yeah, before mine. So, um, that kind of tells you just the environment of the people that are around. So I love it when people take that next step and building out their voices. So guys, again, I'm going to put my plea out here and see if my
Agreed.
community can help out. If you go follow Mr. Jaime Pena on LinkedIn here, I dropped it in the comments in the very beginning. I'll put it in there again, uh, where you can go to his company page. We're trying to get them to over 150 followers right now. He's at 129. I need 21 more
Hmm.
followers so he can get access to LinkedIn Live through his company page and start streaming there. And you guys might be able to catch his show hopefully pretty soon, streaming here on the platform. So I got enough people here watching. If everybody here just goes over there, goes follows, and get him over the hump, I would
I
appreciate
would
it.
appreciate it too.
I
I'd be very grateful, guys. Um,
um,
one of the things, Gabe, that I said two things. I should have said three. One, in our first year, we thought about how to use our platform to help others out, not just for shining a spotlight on people. And so we thought the three of us were naturally people who like to serve, also who like to, lift others up and stuff. So we thought we wanted to do something special. Since Lubbock, Texas was my hometown, and that's where the two of them were at, we were like, man, let's start up a nonprofit and let's see what we can do with it. And so then came the Pineapple Project. The Pineapple Project was birthed out of the social distancing show. In case you didn't get it, pineapple, because my last name is Pina,
Pina
which is Spanish for
for
pineapple.
pineapple.
And a pineapple is a symbol of friendship and hospitality. And so the heart was to let's team up with someone so we could do something special and love it. And we'll ask all of our viewers to help us out with this. So we set up a Venmo. We're like, donate here. All the money from this is 100% going to this program. We found a program called Christmases for Kids in Lubbock. And their goal is to put 3 Christmas gifts under the tree for all the foster care children in Lubbock, Texas. Lubbock, Texas has a population of about 400,000. So we teamed up with this organization and we asked our viewers. And I remember when we first did it, I was like, dude, if we can get $200 from our viewers, it'll be awesome. And then at the end, we ended up for our first time, we raised over 1,000 or over $1,600, and then we got tubs and tubs of toys for these kids.
Wow.
And we had an insurance company who was like, we want to partner with y'all and we want to make sure we have a bin from the social and distancing show that's collects toys so that we can donate to them and we can ask our the people who come in to donate in the workers. And we're like, what? Yeah. And so every year now we've during Christmas time we've started a collection to get this money for these kids and stuff. We don't ever get to meet the kids because it's adoption in Texas is it's very
Right.
secretive, and that's fine. We don't need to, but they have a closet, and the goal is to fill the closet up so that all the caseworkers can come in and pick out the gifts that are closest for, or exactly for what their kids want. And so
Nice.
from that first year that we did, we were able to stock their closet over capacity so that they carried gifts over to the next year. And then last year we did the same thing. They were like, guys, there's so many toys and gift cards for the older kids. And they were like, thank you. And we're like, man. And so when we come back live on Wednesday, we're going to ramp up our efforts to start collecting for the Pineapple Project so we can donate the gifts for Christmases for kids. And so we thought, we got to use this platform for more than just having fun and meeting new people, but let's do something for our community. And the kids is what we want, is what we chose to help out in that area.
Man.
So just wanted to share that too.
Hey, no. That again, that get some applause for that, man. That's a really good way to help people out. And I'll get you one of these, Mr. Hennessy. If you wear it on the live stream, you got it, buddy. I'll get you an Impro Media hat. But yeah, man, that's again, that's a really great way to kind of use this forum again for more than just what you said. Like, it is a really great way to, because I teach people here, and that's another great thing that it probably needs to be touched on, is like teaching, time for, again, to teach people how to use this live streaming software, how to teach people to do for business right now. But that's another avenue that's probably, another avenue that needs to be explored, is like how to use it for nonprofits and how to use it for other things as well, apart from just doing what we're doing here now. Mm-hmm. So that might be another thing we'll touch on, and maybe we can work and collaborate to put that together and help other individuals that want to learn how to do this, and that'll help them scale their nonprofit, man. And the more, the better.
I completely agree. Agree.
Because again, I've spent, like you, 3 years here, and I've studied very hard at learning how to do this. I've studied a lot of angles, how to do it. I've figured out ways to do it for business. So, I mean, to me, it would just make it a transition into doing something like that, and just helping a lot of other people, just by showing them or using the technology and simple ways and methods that they can do that. So, love it, man. I love what you're doing here.
Thank you. Same for you, man. Yeah, I love watching your stuff. I love watching your guests. I love watching you and just hearing everything. And you get pretty open. You're pretty vulnerable on here at times too, man. Oh yeah. So more power to you. I appreciate you doing that.
I gotta be. That was the whole point of like how I wanted to present myself. And yeah, there's been a lot of things like on a lot of these live streams that I've done where a lot of my own personal life is spilled into these shows, but that is.
And I appreciate that, man. I think it's okay. It's like a pie, right? There's areas, there's sections, pieces of pie where you can get a different flavor, right? And so I think it's not saying that people who aren't as vulnerable or open is bad. There's a place for those things.
Yep.
But I appreciate a lot of the content that you put out, Gabe. I appreciate the people that you brought on. Like, man, that guy who was talking, I cannot remember his name, but it was a Sunday night, but he was talking about how his mom had during the New York.
Yes, Mark. That was Mark Talley. So Mark his mother was one of the ones that was gunned down in the Buffalo shootings up in back in May. So that was.
But I appreciate you bringing him on and having that open discussion about the things that he was talking about, man. I mean, it's hard to say awesome and great and things like that because the content it's not a good thing. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
I appreciated you letting him come on and talking about the stuff that he was mentioning.
Oh, absolutely.
And then you went live the other night, like I said, and talking about you and the kids in the background. It's like, it's so funny because I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I've been there. I've done that. I have 2 of my own little ankle biters upstairs now that they're not that young anymore, but I've been there and I don't have any. I'm like, he's just doing what he can to be sane. So
that's it, man. And that's the thing about it is, again, I've been doing this for 3 years, and they've seen my kids at any one point have always been, there for the show, have been a part of it. They've come in, they've done, and that's just who I am. And that's, again, that's the open part of what I do as a creator. And when I ask people to come on the show and be vulnerable, I wouldn't ask them to do anything I don't do myself. So
Yes.
that's for me is like,
You
hey,
do it well, Gabe. You do it well.
I got to wear that. I got to wear that hat, man. I got to wear that hat of being that guy because
Yeah.
I think that's the best experiences when I get those people who get to be that really truthfully open. And that's why I call this unfiltered, because I want people to be able to do that, to go, I don't have to, hush my mouth or do anything else.
Hmm. Which
Yeah,
we
my
do on the social distancing show. Just FYI for everyone, we are not unfiltered. We are filtered.
but old Gabe here.
No hate, no hate. It's
Uh,
just
well, the whole thing is this is like this. The reason I enjoy the LinkedIn platform, real quick before we start wrapping up,
Mhm.
is that it's mostly adults.
Yes,
There's not a lot of there's not kids on this platform because it's not like TikTok. It's not like any of these other platforms. This is seen as just mostly a business centric platform first.
right.
So
A professional. You get people who know how to be adults. It's kind of my thought with LinkedIn. You know,
yes,
people who want to either absorb knowledge and education and experiences.
and
I
even
mean,
with a little bit and even with a little bit of shenanigans, I mean, it's still an adult first platform, and most of the people here understand that, and that's where I'm again where I try to let people understand that I don't I don't tailor that content to go out to a younger audience. I'm trying to speak to the 40-year-old, 50-year-old, you know, even the late 30-year-old, whatever that is for you. But I know that that's where the primary focus of my audience is going to be at. So I don't really worry about tailoring it. Like, oh my gosh, there's, kids 13, 14 years old might be watching this. And if you are,
mhm.
what the hell are you letting your kids watch LinkedIn for? Not that I'm just saying. I mean,
No, I know. Yeah, yeah. LinkedIn
so
is I feel is a very niche, not your, like you said earlier, it's not like TikTok or anything. So
yeah, it absolutely is not. I mean, TikTok is a whole different animal, and
mm,
this is a different one as well. So,
yeah,
all right. Well, before we get out of here, guys, I want you guys to please head over to the Social Undistancing Show page here on LinkedIn. Let's get his follower count up to 150 guys. I need him streaming here on the platform. So if you haven't already, please head over there. The link is in the comments. I'll drop it in the after the show as well. If you want to go, please follow. And also, if you're on Facebook, hey, why not go check out the social undistancing show, airing their season 5 premiere Wednesday at 8:30 Central Standard Time, 9:30 Eastern. Um, Go check those guys out. I've been on the show myself. It was a really fun experience, and I should come back and visit again just to see how
we'll probably have you on this
everybody's done.
season.
Just to go hang out again. And again, there you go. Good. Thank you, Bob. He's following his personals page, and then there you go. That's right. So we should be at 1:30 by now, and then everybody else, if you get you guys to follow over there, I'll make sure we'll follow up and get as many people over there as can, so that you guys can stream to your platform over there and over here. And just again, uh, I love this platform because it's so receptive to just allowing people to come in here, and it's a platform built for networking. So that's what most of the people do here. They come here, they learn who you are, they connect, they network, and then things just start to happen. It's why I said it's pretty magical to be on here, and it's why
I like that.
I've hung my hat here for so long. So, all right, sit tight
We'll
there.
save a spot for me there because I want to hang my hat here too. Okay,
There you
so
go. We will definitely do that. So sit tight there, Jaime. Everybody else, we will be back tomorrow evening, 8:15 Eastern Standard Time. Our guest for tomorrow evening will be. Again, guys, we will be back tomorrow evening, 8:15 Eastern Standard Time. You guys are the best audience on LinkedIn, bar none. You hear me? Bar none. And if you want to fight that fact, come at me, bro. I'm good for it. So, so other than that, guys, you have a wonderful, wonderful evening. We will talk again tomorrow night, and be well, be safe, and we'll get to this. We'll always get through this together. We have for the last 3 years, and we will continue to do so for as long as we can until we ride off into the sunset. So you guys have a wonderful night, and we'll talk again soon. Good night, everybody.